Hello, my name is Charisse Romero, and today I would like to speak to you about guidelines for effective listening. Now, why is listening important? Or better yet, why is listening important to you? Or for many of you, like me, it's important that I listen very closely at work. Now, I'm a 911 operator, and can you imagine if I wasn't listening closely during an emergency call? Lives could literally be in jeopardy. For instance, if you called with an emergency like you're trapped down a well or you've tripped off a ladder and you needed medical attention and I wasn't listening closely, I could think that you're asking me if I was doing well, or a joke about a ladder if I wasn't paying attention. So I have been trained to become a better listener, not only for my work, but just to become a better communicator all around. And to prepare myself, I did on-the-job training actually to become a more effective listener and to become an active listener rather than a passive listener. The difference between an active and passive listener is that an active listener will listen for the understanding of the main idea of what is being said, and a passive listener basically is hearing what you're saying but not truly comprehending for full comprehension. And listening is part of the process of communication. But where do we use communication? Nowadays, communication is used everywhere. In today's society, everyone has a cell phone, if not two, strapped to their hip at all times. And so to become a better communicator, you must first learn the guidelines of becoming a better listener. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. The first step is to realize it's not a passive activity. Just because you hear something doesn't mean you always understand the real meaning of what is being said. To become an active listener, you need to do that to understand the speaker. Now, today I want to show you a simple exercise on how to become a better listener. We can go ahead and try it together. Let's sit up straight and look directly at me. Remain alert and keep your body generally still. Be quiet while the speaker is talking, and take notes as needed to refer back to them later. And try to save your questions till the end to truly listen to what the speaker is saying. Another key thing to listening better is to try to focus on understanding the main idea of what is being said and then adding detail to that idea. For instance, if I was giving a presentation on killer whales and how they're going extinct, and I want to discuss with you today about what we can do about it, I want you to walk away from the speech thinking about killer whales going extinct and what you can do about it, not about the cool little factoid I gave you about how killer whales weigh 5 times an elephant and they're twice as long as a football field, and wondering why I didn't mention that they were going extinct. Another thing you can do to listen better is stop thinking about external issues like what am I having for dinner tonight and who's going to be walking the dog. Turn that brain engine off. You have time to think about what's for dinner tonight in the car ride home after the presentation, but for now think about what's being said. Another part of listening I myself have trouble with is being able to keep an open mind while other people are speaking, because I have a pre-biased opinion about what is being said or what is being presented. For instance, during the presidential debates, a lot of us had strong opinions about either one of the parties, and instead of listening to either one of the sides, I would be yelling at the TV, and instead of letting them listen and letting McCain and Palin talk, actually. I mean, we all have our opinions on the matter, but I at least could have listened, and before I started fighting with my TV, instead of yelling, I could have sat there, listened to what they had to say, think it through, understand the meaning of what is being said, like I'm here to talk to you about today. And the point of all this is try to avoid your own biases about the speaker and his or her ideas, even if you have hard beliefs about what is being said. Give them a fair chance. I mean, after all, wouldn't you want a fair chance in your presentation for people to listen to you before yelling and screaming at you about what you're saying without even listening first? And lastly, if you don't understand something someone has said to you, just ask. Certainly they wouldn't be upset. I think they would be pleased that you're trying to fully understand what is being said, and generally will be nice about answering your questions, so there's no reason in not asking the question if you don't fully comprehend what is being said. So to wrap everything up today, um, what's important about becoming a more effective listener? Well, go ahead and think back to the beginning. Why is listening important? Or better yet, why is it important to you? Because it's part of communication, and communication is essential everywhere. And what do good communicators do? They listen effectively. So I want you to go home today and practice becoming an active, not a passive listener, and see how much more information you'll be able to soak in. Ever heard the expression in one ear and out the other? You're not that person anymore. That's probably your teenage daughter, but definitely not you. You're the listening for complete understanding and comprehension person now, and a better communicator for it. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my speech guidelines for effective listening, and I hope you gained something out of it. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.